Hello, bosses all around the world, and in today's video, we're going to be doing a review on The Walking Dead Season 7, Episode 5, Go Getters. Now, wow, this episode was one hell of an episode. We got to see how life was at the Hilltop. Now, yes, we got to see how Maggie is, how she's coping with Glenn's death, which is way too easy. Like, she's just like, boy, she acted like nothing's happened. She's pretending, but I'm gonna get onto that later on in the video. Sasha's also acting like that as well, but we're gonna go into that. But before I really get started, actually, let me just say, spoiler alert. I'm not trying to spoil it for anyone. Obviously, you wouldn't click on the video if you see I'm doing a review on an episode you haven't watched, so make sure you go watch the episode then talk. So yeah, let's talk about let's talk about this video, this episode. So wow, Maggie, she got over Glenn's death quickly. Like, damn, like literally on episode 1 she was crying, she was just so upset, she looked like she was gonna kill us over with Glenn, and then now she looked like she's just over it like that. She's really like, she's not really necessarily over it, but she's coming away, like she's finding a way to accept it, which is far too easy. Like, for example, she's given up on it. Like, she's not trying to remember him, if you know what I mean. Like, there's the watch that Herschel was giving down to everyone. He gave the watch down to Glenn, and then Glenn died, and then Maggie took the watch and then gave it down to Enid. But yeah, just the fact that she said to Sasha, I'm not gonna keep this at the grave because I don't want to remember him. The only thing we're gonna remember him by is by us, as in like a family, as in them three or whatever. So that's pretty good that Maggie's not gonna be upset, but she's turning out to be some leader. The way she just punched Gregory in the face, told him, my name's not Marsha, my name's not Honey, so make sure you called me Maggie. Like, that was nice. Like, Maggie is showing some authority. And when Simon came and took like 50% of Gregory's stuff, supplies and that, Gregory was just like yes. He was just saying yes to every single thing that Simon said. He even took some of Simon's drinks. Simon even took some of Gregory's drinks, his alcohol and all that. And Gregory just said, yeah, you can have it. And Gregory was even going so far to even snake out Sasha and Maggie. Like, he's really not a good leader. And that's why Maggie had to punch him in the face. But yeah, Maggie's like the new Rick, man. She's changing. She's developing. She's a good character. What's her name? Sasha is changing. Way. She's still really upset about Abraham. She's so pissed. Like she must be devastated. Wow, she must be devastated. First she had to lose Bob, then she had to lose her brother. Like, and now she's lost Abraham. She is losing her mind. She's losing every single thing, and this is not good for Sasha. Just as she got Abraham, just as like last season they started doing their thing, and then they were both laughing on and all that stuff, I thought, wow, Sasha's finally no longer crazy. She's finally got her mindset, and she's finally done. I was happy, but then Conk, he just gets hit round the head with a baseball bat by Negan. Like, Abraham's gone now, and then now Sasha's just smoking his cigars, or his last cigar, which is pretty good. But she's not really over Abraham yet. Like, he's dead. She's still upset about it. I can't blame her. Abraham was a good character. You guys are all forgetting that just because he died, just because both Glenn and Abraham died. Don't forget about Abraham. Abraham was a sick character. He made funny jokes all the time. It was Abraham. I liked Abraham. But sadly, he is gone now. So yeah. Let's go and talk about Carl. Carl was a main focus on this episode. Like, the main characters for this episode, I would roughly say would. Sorry about that. Sorry. I dropped my mic on the floor. That's very unprofessional of me. But as I said, the main focus that's embarrassing. And the main focus on the characters in this episode was Jesus, Carl, Sasha, Simon, Maggie, and Gregory. Like and the bit of Enid and Jesus. Those were the main characters. Like we get to see what they're on, we get to see what they're doing. I mean, everyone's changing. It's all good. It's a good episode, and those characters were really good. So yeah, let's talk about Jesus now. Jesus, he's a live character, one of my favorite characters already. He was showing off his kicking skills by going and drop kicking walkers, giving them high kicks like some UFC fighter. Like Jesus is a mad character. He's even fighting walkers with his fists. Like wow, I like that. Yeah, I like it. So yeah, Jesus is a good character when it comes to fighting and combat, so that's good. Sasha, I already talked about how Sasha. Carl, that's what I was talking about. Carl, he is changing. He went out of Enid, got their little skates and that. They went skating for a little bit, turbos and all that. And then Carl had his little romantic moment with Enid, finally kissed her. Aww. And then Enid was like, "You're not really here for me, are you?" And then Carl was like, "Yeah, I'm not really here for you. I'm here for Negan." So yeah, Carl sneaked in the back of the van to get Negan, to go to the sanctuary to get Negan and kill him, just like he did in the comics. Only difference is Jesus is in the back of the Jesus jumps in the back of the lorry to see Carl at the back as well. So now it's Jesus and Carl at the back. I don't know how that's gonna go. I don't think Carl's gonna kill all the saviors and all that because of this. Because Jesus is gonna be there, he's gonna probably stop him at that, which is probably bad, because when Carl went and killed all the characters in the comic, killed all the saviors, it was a really key part in the storyline. So yeah, that needs to happen. That needs to happen. But that really needs to happen. Carl needs to at least kill at least three saviors next episode, at least. So yeah, one thing I found so funny about this episode is how they're really making, what's his name? They're really trying to make Gregory seem like he's the bad guy. Like, damn. Gregory, when he picked up the watch off the grave from Glenn's grave, he said, "Oh, good watch, that didn't need to be out there, all that." He's merely not a good character. He's saying yes to everything. He is not good at the moment. He is not a fan favorite at all. I really do not like Gregory. But apart from that, this is a good episode. I mean, wow, we get to see a bit of Maggie, we got to see a little bit of Carl, we get to see a bit of Sasha and Jesus and Gregory, which no one likes. So yeah, and one thing I only just noticed in this episode, actually no, I didn't notice that. Actually, one thing I did notice this episode, I don't know how I noticed it, but you see the mattresses that I didn't know they were mattresses, but at the end of the episode, last week's episode of The Walking Dead season 7 episode 4 service, I noticed that Michonne was crying. I was like, why is she crying if they burnt something? And then I realized they burnt the bed, they burnt the mattresses. This is just to show that they're just trying to piss off Rick's group. Like, they don't need the mattresses. That's the fact that they burnt them. They just burnt the mattresses just because they can, which made Michonne upset, because now they have to sleep on the floor because they have no mattresses, because they took 50% of their stuff. So that is mad. They took 50% of their stuff as well, of the Hilltop stuff. So Negan's group is taking quite a lot of people's stuff at the moment. Can't wait to see what next episode is. Next episode, in the promo, we get to see a bit of Terror. I told you it was gonna be in the episode after next. Last week I said that. So we're gonna see Terror and, oh my gosh, I forgot his name. We hardly see him in the TV show, you know. He's one of my favorite characters in the comics. But yeah, I forgot him. He's not even in the comics. He's still alive, but he's hardly in the comics. We're all forgetting about him. Heath, I think that's his name. Heath, yeah, we're gonna see a bit of Heath and Terror next week's episode. Can't wait to see where they're on. Probably they're gonna find, like, they're most likely gonna find like loads of guns or something. Like, I'm telling you, they're gonna find so much guns, just because of the fact that Rick's group has no guns and lots of people are ready for war to go and take on Negan's group and the Sanctuary. But Rick's not on it because he has no guns, and Rick's not on it because he's not feeling it, because he's scared of what Negan will do to him. it just shows that something bad's gonna happen, and Terra must have the guns. And if she doesn't have any guns, I wonder how they're gonna be fighting the Sanctuary when the time comes. But yeah, this episode was a good episode. I would rate this episode at least a good 6 out of 10 for character development. So yeah, I hope you have all enjoyed this Walking Dead review. Can't wait for next week's episode, see what happens. And yeah, that's what I have to say. I'll see you in the next one, and boss man out.